Well, howdy, y'all. Rüdrani Devi, the happiness lady, even wrote the book about it. Choosing happiness, an uncommon way to find joy in your life. I even have it on audio. Maybe you'd like to have me in your ear. I don't know. So, very interesting times. We just had the Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for a lot of the things, and I talked about that recently on one of these Humpity Hump Day Wednesdays. Yes, it's Wednesday. So again, here I am on Humpity Hump Day, and what do I want to talk about? Well, here's the cool thing, y'all. I love this one franchise. It's called Relationship Done Different. Some of you know that I'm a certified facilitator of access consciousness. It's a movement that's in 179 countries, y'all. And one of the specialty classes that I am certified to facilitate is relationships done different. Now, what the heck did that mean anyway? Well, it's very interesting because different means anything that's out of the norm from this reality, because we're taught how to be in this reality and in relationships. We also teach people how to treat us through relationships based on what we bought as real and true for us that may not even be real and true for you. What do you know? So I'd like to talk about being willing to lose your relationships. I don't care which ones they are. Your family, your insignificant other, your significant other, whatever. That person you shared a bed with. Well, for me, that's my cat, but I digress. So, would you be willing to stop cutting your arms and legs off to fit into what you've been told is appropriate for a relationship? Like, the perfect mate, the 2.5 children, whatever that means, the right car, the right status symbol, meaning, I watch. Yeah, I happen to really like my watch a lot. You know why? Because I can leave my phone off and it lets me know if I want to answer my phone. It goes, that works for me. My relationship with my watch is beautiful. Thank you, Siri. You're amazing. So, yeah. So like I mentioned, I do facilitate this class called Relationship Done Different. And it is amazing. I just want to read a little bit to you, and then I'll go into some further conversation with my big girl glasses on so I can see what I'm looking at. Be willing to lose everything. Doesn't mean you have to choose it. If you're willing, you'd be surprised at what happens. Relationships are extremely limited when you are not willing to lose them, because that's the part I mean about cutting your arms and legs off, because you start behaving in the way that you sense. You may not even be sensing it. It may not even be that esoteric. Maybe it's more about the way you've been taught you're supposed to be so that you don't screw it up. I get it. There's a lot of people out there do not do alone. I know a lot of them. I used to be one of them. But I would rather have me, all of me, than to be in a shitty relationship just so that I'm in one. Okay? So, when you're unwilling to lose them, you destroy them because you feel trapped by them. Because now you're not being you. You're being something you think you're supposed to be. And is that actually kind for you or for the other person? Whether it's a family member, your mate, co-workers. I mean, I know a lot of people that stayed in jobs they hated for the money. Now, if you know that it's a temporary situation, that gets it. Gots to pay the bills. It's the way it is. So this is the piece I want you to get, okay? What if you were willing to break up your relationship every freaking day? So I get my hot tub, commune with Mother Earth. What contribution can I be to this planet? All the things. And then I'm like, I destroy and uncreate all my relationships in this lifetime or in any other, any reality or galaxy. And then that way I've got this clean slate. It's like you've hit a delete button on everything prior to that moment. So you get to start fresh. It's really kind of cool. One of the things that keeps us stuck in relationships and also keeps relationships from being as dynamic as they could be, is that we are not willing to let go of them on a daily basis and recreate them and stay in that creative process. So when I'm willing to say I destroy and uncreate my relationships, what am I doing? I'm opening the door to other possibilities. Letting go of them on a daily basis gives you an opportunity to recreate the relationship from scratch, like you're starting over. Remember when you first fell in love the first time, maybe the second or 10th time, I don't know. And that feeling you get, oh my gosh, this is such good stuff, y'all. I feel so good. I'm walking on cloud 9, all the things, blah, blah, blah. And then, I don't know, they do something that just upsets you. You're like, well, if you loved me, you wouldn't have done that. I mean, come on. You cheated on me, or, you called me names, or whatever it is. But here you were with the end-all relationship, and you didn't want to lose it, so you stayed in it. Instead of destroying and recreating. I destroy and uncreate my relationship, so I get to recreate it. You'd be amazed. Just having the space to have that ask, opens these other doors. And here's the thing. Use your awareness. I mean, maybe it doesn't change. But then you've given yourself an opportunity to perceive that it's not changing. And, I'm not talking about abuse, you all. If someone's abusing you, get the fuck out. I'm just saying. But if it's this thing where, they're doing the best with what they got and you're doing the best with what you got, and you can just be grateful for them being in your life, warts and all, and you can be grateful for you showing up in your life because you're not willing to cut your arms and legs off. And I keep saying arms and legs. What I mean is, you're cutting off the being that you be to fit into something that don't even work for you or for them. Is it a kindness to try to stay with someone when it's not working? I mean, come on. I'm going to tell my mama. She stayed in what I would call a loveless marriage. They called it love, Catholic love, whatever you want to call it. That's fine. They did what they could with the tools that they had. Okay? Didn't work for me. I even told my mother, I'm never getting married. After watching you and Dad fight and all the stuff, how abusive it was. I don't want that, because I was under the impression that you marry somebody and they get to be the boss of you. And that's not true. That's what I believe, because that's what I saw. Everything we are today, I'm reading from this little book right here. Everything we are today, what would it take to outcreate that tomorrow? Willingness, choice. Y'all have heard me say that a lot. Rather than take today into tomorrow and then recreate that. Rather than take today into tomorrow and recreate that. There's that movie, Groundhog's Day. He wakes up and it's the same day every day. It's so funny. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please look it up. I mean, it's a little old, but it gets a point across, because, he wanted to hook up with this lady. And so he kept changing because he knew it didn't work. So then he was destroying that day because, it would start over. He'd wake up in the same room, but he caught on. Oh my goodness, I'm the only one that realizes this is going on. So he kept doing things to try to change it. This is the same thing I'm talking about. What if you could actually recreate your life, because the one that you're living in ain't working? And in relationships, how many relationships do you know that actually really work? Some of them do. Some do. Some of them have this thing called allowance. It's like, your partner's going to leave the seat up. You don't hold that against them. And then when you finally actually acknowledge that, that's what they did, you're going to start turning the light on in the middle of the night before you sit down into the commode, right? And what happens is, when I'm following an allowance of shit like that, it disappears. It's kind of cool, actually. Yeah. Even the dude I was married to, he put the seat down. He was probably the only one, but one saving grace, right? How many of you are so bored in your relationships? I said it. That occurs when you have gone into the maintenance of a relationship rather than the creation of it. Oh, it's like, Taco Tuesday and Pasta Wednesday. That's what my marriage consisted of. I mean, and when I saw the candles lit and the incense burning, and the music playing in the background, I knew what was coming next. A little boola boola, or, let's get it on. It's okay. But it's kind of like, I feel like I'm replaying tracks over and over and over again. What if every day could be a different, exciting, beautiful creation? A creationship with this beautiful planet. Hello. So when I wake up, I kind of squeeze myself because I realize I'm awake. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Who and what are we today? And what glorious and grand adventure are we going to get into? Are we going to create and generate? And then I destroy and uncreate my relationship with everyone and everything in it. From this lifetime, reality, or galaxy, all the places, past lives, future lives, should I choose them. And I set the precedence for my day. I never know what it's going to be. Some mornings, I don't drink coffee right away. You know why? My body don't want it. And that's okay. I don't just knee jerk and push the button. Yes, I have an expensive coffee machine. I'm very bougie. That's okay. I'm not going to apologize for it. So not every morning is coffee. This morning, my body wanted coffee that had eggnog in it because 'tis the season. This is Celeste and my Christmas card this year. Isn't it pretty? Look at this red dress. I love that dress. It's so pretty. Anyway, that's Celeste and I. We're pretending like I'm giving her a package. So our Christmas cards just came in. Shout out to Shutterfly. I have an addiction. I've done over 60 projects with you guys. Maybe you should sponsor my podcast. Just saying. Anyway. So here's the whole thing. When you don't create your relationships based on what was, you get to choose from a completely different energy. Feel me. What if you could just be, like every day could be a play date? Wouldn't that be fun? Right? It doesn't mean that you can only have, I'm going to read this in the light now so I can see it. It doesn't mean you can only have you when you're not in a relationship. Rather, feel me now, if you are in a relationship, what do you need to change to have more of you? What could be honoring of you, which is actually honoring to your partner or whoever else we're talking about in this relationship game, right? If you are the energy of allowance, allowing them to be who they be regardless, and allowing you to be who you be, hey, keep yourself in the equation, y'all. It doesn't matter what anyone else will choose. Get this. Just because you choose it don't mean everybody else going to choose it. That makes you very weird. Makes you different. So here's the thing. When you're actually willing to let go of something, the universe opens its doors to creating something greater. You just got to be willing. It's like I said before, when I was willing to, be an allowance of the toilet seat always being up, all of a sudden, bam, it down. And that's an honoring of me. Go figure, right? If you're willing to be aware of something, you can change it. If you are not willing to look at something, guess what, y'all? You ain't going to change it. You're stuck. That was that thing. What keeps you stuck in relationships? I should have said what keeps you stuck in relationships that don't work, y'all. And it's this preconceived thing where, this need for it to show up a certain way, a need for people to react to you in a certain way. We call that in Access Consciousness, reactive realities, where you've been taught that you're supposed to be a certain way and react a certain way to prove that you actually care or love or be. And the thing is you actually really do care. That's why you're cutting your arms and legs off and being something you ain't. True story, y'all. Rather than go to the wrongness of something, why not ask, what have I gained from this? If nothing else, you gain awareness. So whatever you do, don't try it. This is what I'd like to recommend. If you're feeling cranky pants or it's not feeling comfortable for you, just try and create the situation. You'd be amazed. You could repeat it a few times and just notice your body getting lighter because it's amazing. It's like a demandment or commandment of your body, and it'll just do it because it's like, I'm sick of this shit anyway. Why am I putting up with this? Why am I dishonoring myself? And dishonoring me is not even helping the other people that I think I'm helping by not being me. That also sounds like another class I facilitate called Right Voice for You. I actually have one coming up. It's a one-day class over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Right. Yeah, I'll put the info below because maybe you want to join me on the Spear of the Moment. 9:30 to 12:30 CST. That's Nashville, Tennessee time, Saturday and Sunday. And then guess what? I got a Relationship Done Different class coming up too in the middle of December. It's later in the day to evening. Okay, makes it easy over 4 days. Middle of December, like right before Christmas, y'all. Maybe you want to consider a Relationship Done Different class with all the holidays, DAZE, happening. You know, I destroy and create with this lady every day. And, yeah, we still get, bickery with each other. I mean, we stuck in our ways. But we have this honoring of each other. We get it. I'm snappy pants for a minute or two. She is too. And then I'm like, I'm sorry I'm being an asshole, Mom. Thanks for loving me anyway. Whatever that means. So that's all I wanted to get on for the, Humpity Hump Wednesday and share with you alls. Thank you for those of you that are watching now or in the future. Hey, if you get that this could actually be a contribution to somebody, that somebody really needs to see this, why don't you share it with them? And if you enjoyed my conversation with myself, because I can't actually banter back and forth with y'all, but I'm reading your minds, right? Hit the subscribe button. Do me a solid. So that's Rüdrani Devi, the Happiness Lady, signing off until next time, Humpity Hump next Wednesday. Ciao, ciao for now. Thank y'all for showing up. I appreciate you.